the Town of Pownell Select Board Meeting on February 22nd, 2024 at 6 p.m. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Board member roll call,
Angie Rowley.
Mike Gardner.
Jamie Percy.
Brian Harris.
Can everyone rise for the pledge of allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands.
And that was the AG's report.
Liberty and justice for all. Approval of the agenda, public comment, approval of minutes, warrants, correspondence, and under correspondence, I'd like to add two items as A and B. Excuse me, I'd like to add P27, which are two large gathering permits. And I'd like to add a statement from the select board chair under correspondence. Excess weight permits, town meeting discussion, ARPA funds discussion, contract and mowing services RFP, employee evaluation, job performance review, policy discussion, public comment, and adjourn.
So moved with changes.
Second.
Any more discussion on this? Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any public comment, Hannah?
Okay, so
Approval of minutes. Minutes of February 8th, 2024 select board meeting.
So.
Second.
Any comments, questions, corrections? All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Same.
Minutes of February 15th, 2024 special select board meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions, comments, or corrections? There being none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Minutes of February 20th, emergency, we didn't have that.
That was canceled.
Canceled, sorry.
Yep.
Only down. Warrants, accounts payable February 16th, $63,955.17.
So moved.
Seconded.
Any questions, concerns? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Accounts payable February 23rd, 2024, $29,933.81.
So moved.
Seconded.
Questions, comments, or concerns? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Payroll February 16th, $10,137.97.
So moved.
Seconded.
Any questions, comments, or concerns? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Payroll February 23rd, 2024, $11,994.26.
So moved.
Seconded.
Any questions, comments, concerns? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Correspondence?
I do have a couple.
So the first one is from Martina Barnes, and she is from the State Forest Service. Hello, I'm writing to ask you and your select board if you would be interested in an update from me and other staff at the Manchester Ranger District about ongoing and upcoming projects in your town and surrounding area. We'd like to have about 15 minutes at an upcoming select board meeting, so I just
I would say yes.
don't know if you all wanted to have them.
Mhm.
The second is from Donald Campbell. He's at the VLT. It's to Mike and myself. He is requesting that myself and him work with the Williams College on our forest management plan. Obviously the Conservation Commission would have a lot to do with this too, but he's hoping that I can sort of be a co-supervisor of the Williams College class. It's free. It's a huge benefit to us. We'd be crazy not to be
So
honest.
they want to have a class, do a class on our property is what you're saying.
No, so Williams College is offering to help develop the final management plan on the land.
Okay.
We have to have a forest management plan. I did the interim one, to the best of my ability.
Generally, I think we've done using the counter force for,
Well, we had our own course. This is a little bit different.
so that's
Um,
It's a lot more than just the management of the log. And
And Donald Campbell's recommending it, right?
Well, Williams College has, and I'm not 100% positive, but I think it's like an outing group or something like that. This is what they do. They teach this at the college.
well, it's an environmental planning class run by Sarah Gardner, Williams College. So it would basically be one of their main studies for the semester, I believe.
I would appreciate their input. I'm hesitant as far as cross-border things, that's all. As far as for our town, that's my own personal hesitation. Because when other projects for our town has come up and our past select board members have gone to Montpelier, Williamstown and the college also sent attorneys up and fought against things that would have helped growth in our town. That's my only hesitation. So, but that's my opinion. I'm only one.
I would encourage a partnership with Williams College, especially with the new land acquisition, but that's just my opinion.
I'd like to hear from them in person before we make a decision.
From Donald Campbell or from Williams?
From both, honestly.
That's fine, Brian.
Get an idea.
I mean, my opinion on the surface is had the Conservation Commission, because this is what part of their job to have them in Parks and Rec, actually. You know, I think I would be down in the Parks and Rec scope. You know, we're doing a forest management.
Yeah.
But I think having our conservation come directly in.
Okay.
Sometimes it just glitches.
Sorry for the glitch. The internet stopped working, so, in case anybody missed that last part, was to have the Conservation Commission and meet with probably Sarah Gardner from Williams College to come up and meet with us.
First and then,
And then we can make a decision from there.
Sure.
You know, I think and she is no relation, by the way, just to be perfectly clear. Wouldn't know her if she was sitting here. I think that's the right path.
Yeah,
And I think set it up for sooner rather than later so that, you know, when spring rolls around, they can get up, start doing what they need to do, because isn't there a deadline on that forest management?
yeah, they're due a year after closing.
That's what I thought. So we,
And if
well, we
we're gonna
gotta,
be done, we at least have to have a good plan.
right.
right.
And the interim plan was, like Tara said, done to the best of her ability, but she's not a forest manager.
Sorry from Donald, that's all I needed.
No,
Yeah, that's right.
I appreciate that. I'm just,
Yeah, no, that's right. So part of it was taken from the previous plan, and there was a bunch of stuff that we know.
That's it for correspondence.
That's it for correspondence. Yeah. Two large gathering permits. Yeah, I don't have them in front of me.
Yeah,
I don't know.
they are in your folders, but do you want them in front of you here?
Perfect. Thank you. They're same permits that we handed out. Do the first one, Paul Boyette is the name of applicant. He is the contact.
Yeah, hi guys, can you hear me?
Contact person. Yep, hey, Paul.
Okay, hi guys. Sorry I couldn't be there in person.
The first permit is for June 1st and 2nd for 536 Dean Road.
Yep.
North. Do you want to do these separately or together?
They do them separate.
That's what I thought. Yep. Okay. So that's the first one. Paul's run this race for how many years now?
7 years.
That's what I thought. Okay. Does the board have any questions for Paul? Any?
Are you doing anything different this year?
No, nothing different. Same thing as always. Just trying to, keep all the kids having fun. The family events just working out really well. I love coming up the panel, amazing person as well. So just all of Vermont always works well for me.
He's provided us with a rough sketch of the track and the way things are laid out, where the EMS is gonna be and parking and different things.
There was no issues last year, right?
Not to my
No,
knowledge.
we had no issues.
Last 2 years to my knowledge, but it hasn't been.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's been,
I make a motion to approve the application of the Dean Road location in June.
536 Dean Road.
I'll second that.
Any more
The-
discussion? Sorry, Paul.
Oh, sorry, you're 536 Dean Road. So that's the second one. That was the 6-1 and 6-2.
Right, June
Yeah.
1st and 2nd. It's just it was the one that was on top. We're
Oh,
doing them both
okay.
at the same time. It's the one I grabbed that was on the top of the pile, Paul, that's all.
Okay, thank you, guys.
Yeah, we'll get to the next one in a second here.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
this one was the top of the pile. I have a
I get
motion,
it.
I have a second. Any more discussion on this? Any questions, comments? Any more? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Perfect. All right, so.
Sign off.
What's that? Yeah, I might show want to sign it in the right place, that's all. Same thing, Paul Goyette. This one is for 1587 Stromeyer Road. It's May 4th and 5th. The timing is a little different on this one. I should have said the time on the other one too, but Saturday night was, till 11.
Yep.
And what was the start time on Saturday? 8?
8 AM.
That's what I thought. This one on May 4th is the start time is 12 PM to 3
Yeah, it's a
PM.
short day on Saturday. Yep.
Yep, and May 5th is 8 to 4, 8 AM to 4 PM. So it's Saturday, May 4th, Sunday, May 5th. Same exact thing. I'm sure there is a diagram in here. There is right there. Joe, your son, the parking's gonna be the same as it was last year, right in the field?
Yep.
Yep, okay.
And there was no issues?
No.
No issues there.
None that we were aware of, so. Okay, what's the board's pleasure on,
Make a motion,
1587 Stromeyer Road?
make a motion to approve the second large gathering permit for Stromeyer Road.
I'll
Second.
second.
I have a motion on the floor and I have a second for Paul Goyette, P27, May 4th, May 5th on 1587 Stromeyer Road. Any questions, comments, discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, the only difference on this one is I don't have that last signature page. Yeah, on this one, I mean, there's a signature, name of promoter. Shows on here. And I don't see where the select board signs it. Maybe I'm missing it.
I'll print it right now.
We're not both attached to that one.
I don't see it. And Brian, I, that's what we got. I was going back to see if it was doubled up in this one. I didn't see it in here.
It wasn't listed as a double or anything.
No, it's, I'm just missing that last page. So Terry gets that to the floor. I'll sign that. Which brings me to my statement, select board statement for the executive assistant. In latest conversations that have revolved around our executive assistant.
Yeah, I was just looking into my email when I sent it to Tara.
Sorry. Paul, we're set with you. So in light of some recent emails and conversations that have revolved around our executive assistant nature be addressed directly to the select board in the future. it is the consensus of the majority of the board that our executive assistant has not operated out of the scope of her job. And that's all I have. Any other correspondence? How about excess weight permits? Just the one that I had here, right? It is from, and I'm gonna absolutely destroy this name, but Renaud Brothers. And it's a fleet permit for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trucks. Their certificate of insurance, it's complete. Joel has signed off on it.
Motion to approve per our road foreman's approval.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
The excess weight permit, all those in favor?
I,
Aye. That is signed. Town meeting discussion.
So Eddie is with us today, our constable, if you want to join us, Eddie. And I thought, well, Eddie actually suggested maybe having a conversation about what his role might look like at town meeting.
Yeah, so, obviously this year, we talked about roles and responsibilities of the constable. One in the state statutes would be, removal of disorderly meeting. Understanding, it's a respectful forum where people come, voice their opinions, concerns. That's why we gather every year. I just thought maybe we should outline some kind of ground rules and, how we're looking to make some boundaries around keeping a civil discussion and respectful for everyone. My general take was, I think everyone's welcome to come, share, express opinions and feelings on things. With the exception of like excessive profanity, threatening, threats, and things of that nature. I just wanted the board's take on what kind of boundaries we're looking for.
I don't think we've had any of that in a while. Years ago, I've heard stories, but I'm not, I don't know if I've ever seen it since I've been going to town meeting. I don't know about, and
I would agree. But, in light,
heard stories, but.
but unfortunately in today's day and age, you do have a lot of that and from, even some correspondence, there's some, always a controversial opinion and some people, might lack the capacity to keep a civil conversation. So I figured it was worth putting out now and seeing everyone's, feelings on that.
I think from my standpoint on this, it's a great question, something that I haven't considered until you put it on the agenda, to be honest with you, but, I think at this point, from my standpoint, I'd like to leave that up to Eddie's discretion. If he feels that somebody's getting out of line, it's kind of your job. Right?
Yeah.
That's kind of what the people voted you in for, to, handle situations, I guess, like that. It's within your state statute, within your right to make that decision. And if somebody's, in your opinion, getting out of line in any way, shape or form, then
My take on that would be, I think it'd be reasonable. Everyone gets, a little overly passionate, give them kind of a one-time, hey, we need to settle down, keep things civil. And if that can't happen, we'd have to.
I think that's
have
fair.
to leave.
I think asking somebody to, if somebody's getting out of line, if you ask them one time, they, give them that fair warning, if you don't settle down, you're gonna be removed. I'm fine with that. Do we need a board vote, or you want a general consensus on that? Well, I don't know if we need to vote on it.
Standard civil obedience. I mean, it's overall, and we've had some heated discussion in recent years, but
It's
I've
not
never
really
seen
the board's
anything.
job to
Yeah.
remove anybody, so it wouldn't fall to you anyway.
Right, yeah. And,
mediator, and he usually keeps, pretty good control over it.
yeah, and just again to put out, total respect and understanding. It's an open forum for people to voice opinions and concerns, all of that, and we're just putting that out here for safety and keeping things civil and constructive.
Exactly. Does that answer your question? For that one anyways, right?
Yeah, yeah, I think for the most part there.
We have any more town meeting discussion?
I think so, unless anybody else does.
I think that was it, really.
Just a reminder, please bring your town reports if you have one.
Yeah, yeah, if you've received a town report, please bring it with you.
Already took one. Please.
There will be some available.
Yeah.
If not, and I believe Eddie's on the right track, civil and keeping it professional.
Thanks. So I guess coordinate some,
Yeah, you know how to get ahold of me. Or anybody else, for that matter. Okay, which brings us to ARPA for town meeting. Everybody's good? Brings us to ARPA funds discussion. So I was approached, by people for looking for some ARPA funds. And then I reached out to, the other two organizations, the Rescue Squad and the other fire department. So they're looking for some ARPA funds for some specific equipment. I'd like to read off what each department or organization is looking for with the amounts. I'd like to come up with an agreed upon amount if we decide that's what we're gonna do, is to give them some money out of the ARPA money. And I'd like to do them all three together. I don't wanna do them single, I'd like to do all three requests together, if that's made with the board. Unless somebody has something different. These are in no order, again, Paul, it's just the way they were handed to me, so I'm gonna read them. Dear Pownell Select Board, I'm writing this email on behalf of the membership of the Pownell Fire Department for a request for funding for SCBA, which are self-contained breathing apparatus for people who don't know, air pack tanks. We are now at our limit for hydro testing for our air pack tanks. What this means is we can no longer use these tanks and they must be removed from service. Each tank has a full service life of 15 years. They must be tested every 5 years and we are at the end of the 15 lifespan. The department has requested grant funding from AFG grant for the past 3 years and have not been successful. We hope that you consider our request for 15 new tanks at a cost of $1,070 each, so we may continue to use we may continue to use them at fire scenes and training. Thank you, Pownell Fire Department, Craig Odell.
That equals $16,050.
This one is from the Pownell Valley Fire Department. After hearing there were some ARPA funds available, Pownell Valley Fire has come up with a couple of requests. The East Station and South Stream Road is in dire need of a heating system replacement. Estimated cost is $15,000. We are also in need of a set of turnout gear for our engine 3. That cost is $4,500. We would greatly appreciate the consideration, Jason Olinsky, Pownell Valley members.
My question was, what is turnout gear? I have no idea.
So
It's the boots, bunker pants.
Oh, okay.
Helmet, gloves.
All right, gotcha. I know that's what that's called.
and last but not least, from Pownell Rescue. It's my understanding that the town needs to allocate some ARPA funds by the end of April, which it should be the end of December. That's okay.
It's not, it's the end of April.
What's that?
It is the end of April. You have to allocate by.
Oh, it is April?
I thought it said in our notes,
Gotta use-
Allocate by the end of April, use by
December 31st, 24.
20.
Sorry.
Sorry.
So there's false information in the other one we had. That's okay. So let me start over. It's my understanding the town needs to allocate some ARPA funds by the end of April and reached out for us to see what we were in need of. I spoke with our board and we have determined that we would like to use some of these funds for our new repeater and our ambulance assessment fee. For the repeater, we currently have a balance of $10,000 for the remainder of what we owe. we received $6,000 from a federal grant for a new repeater system, which is what we use for all communications with our dispatch center. Our current repeater is outdated and we are unable to obtain parts for it, so a new one was crucial. The ambulance assessment fee is a yearly invoice that we get from the state of Vermont in order to be able to operate as an ambulance. This year's amount is for $10,043.87. The amount is calculated off a percentage of the previous year's insurance reimbursements. I would be happy to provide an invoice if you need it. If you need something else, these items will not work. We have other items as well. Thank you for your time and assistance. Becky Levine, Executive Director of Pelham Rescue. So does anybody have any questions? I'm gonna go back to the first one for the SCBA. Does everyone understand what that is? We all do, right? So for our audience, this self-contained breathing apparatus, if you don't know, allows the firefighters and rescue personnel to enter into a hazardous situation, whether it be a fire or a hazardous material situation, carbon monoxide call, help me out, Jamie, Jeff, Justin, well,
Any have,
any hazardous situation.
Hazardous breathing situation.
Yeah, and for our audiences, I could bring everybody up, but I'm gonna introduce the fire and rescue people who are here. I have Justin Alansky, Jeff Miller, Ellen Stromeyer, Jamie Elwell, Sam, that's what I thought, Sam Green. I didn't want to blow it up though, and Becky Levine. So these are, each organization is well represented tonight. So if our board has any questions on any of this stuff, they are certainly here to answer. I know that from my 30 years in the fire service, I know exactly what they're talking about. These air tanks are not, the service life is, even though they're not used a super ton, that's what the regulation is. And without these tanks, or with these tanks not being certified, if something happens,
insurance company.
the insurance company, people's lives, families, just, it's not gonna be a good scenario. That's the SCBA's in a nutshell. So now I'm gonna go to, Palm Valley heating system is a heating system. The turnout gear, to answer Angie's question, is full turnout gear. Boots, pants, coat, gloves, hood and helmet. Right? Did I miss anything? I don't think I did. It's a requirement. 10-year lifespan, right? Yeah, 10-year lifespan, no matter how much it's used, it can sit in the corner for 10 years. And if it's never worn, it still has to be rotated out per regulation every 10 years. It can never, some of it may never be worn
Per NFPA rule.
per National Fire Protective Association rules. And the cost of it is, I've been out of it for a while, but the cost is ridiculous because I think the last ones that I bought were like $1,800 for a whole set.
It's anywhere from 45 to $5,000.
Yeah, no, I know. And when Jason was talking to me about it, it's like, holy smokes, okay? So it is, and this is not, so, and I want to be clear on this because I know this to be a fact. This is not top of the line, the best you can buy. This is serviceable, adequate, what our chief officers and commanding officers in our town are comfortable sending their firefighters or themselves, for that matter, into a situation. Is that a fair statement?
Absolutely.
Okay.
It meets the present NFPA statute.
Yeah, I think, I think they probably, and I hope they did this because I used to do
That's the
that.
safest.
When I was in chief, I used to do it, you don't buy the bottom of the barrel. You try to come up a little bit because the bottom of the barrel is barely, right? But, you try to protect your guys as much as you can, and girls.
Yeah.
And men and women. You try to protect them to the best that you can. So.
You're replacing just bottles or you're replacing full packs?
Just the bottles right now.
Just the bottles?
Yeah.
Not all your packs are fully serviceable right
Yeah,
now.
all the tax are, we can continue to have those recertified.
Yeah.
But the bottles being the smaller one on the tank now, they're 15-year lifespan, and that's from the manufacturer's date, so we've been,
Mm-hmm.
trying to find bottles, because everybody wants to put it in their inventory, but
I
so
just,
far, we've gotten 10 new ones just to keep us going.
yeah, I just know that the rest of the apparatus sometimes,
Yep, no, that gets
Due to the heat.
flow tested every year.
Yep.
Gets recertified. Though, that as long as it passes the flow test.
Yep.
There's no problem with specs. But the bottles, there's no question, 15 years, you gotta discard.
right. We're doing the same thing in Bennington, so.
Yeah, and it's, we were lucky that when we bought the air packs, we bought them all on the grant.
Mhm.
What happens then is, they all run out, they all run out at the same time, so.
Yep.
We've tried for the last 3 years to get a grant to redo it, haven't been successful, unfortunately. So,
Jamie, I do have one question, and it's just for my own concern more than anything. These 15 bottles, excuse me, do you have spare bottles that you're using as well, or are these the only 15 that you have?
that'll be the 15 that we have, we'll still have to buy more.
Okay,
We'll still have to get, because NFPA belief says that for every pack you have to have one spare bottle, correct?
Correct.
So, so we'll still have backup packs that, we're lucky that I shouldn't say lucky, but we don't have the membership that we had before.
well, that's what I was asking, because I know,
We're keeping it so that everybody that's certified can go in and do their job
Mhm.
safely, and everybody's covered.
that was my question, is because I know when I was in the fire service, we had more than that, but we had more members that were certified to go into, so.
Right.
Yeah, so we've
All
got,
the way in town.
yeah, we're just trying to, get everybody back to certified, so they're back to use.
Mhm.
So,
Which brings me over to Becky's in the rescue squad. It's kind of self-explanatory. Becky, maybe you could, I mean, the repeater's a repeater, we all know what that's for. Maybe you could enlighten us a little bit on the ambulance assessment fee, because that's definitely new to me, but I don't doubt it. I know you gotta have it. I'm just, it's,
So it's actually new within the last 6 years. Every year we have to pay in on the state from the year before's revenue essentially, and we can't operate if we don't pay. So it's pretty cut and dry. It's not something that we like to pay, but
Yep.
on top of all the other expenses, that is one of the largest ones we have right now.
Does anybody have any questions for Becky on anything?
That's all that they're requesting.
Yeah, they're requesting $10,000 for a repeater and $10,043 for the assessment fee.
No, I understand. That's
Here,
what I
we
said.
did apply for a grant, we got partial, or, all we have is for just over $16,000 for that, and we got $6,000 from the FG grant. Like I said, we can't even get parts for our current one. at this point.
The current one's pretty old.
Yeah, it's
Is that the one still at Scott's house on, yeah, that current one's,
yeah, we're having issues with it now, and at this point, we're just waiting for Motorola to release it to.
that's gotta be, it's gotta be pushed in 20 years.
Yeah, so I
Right.
got a lead back the other day, and it's
Yeah.
probably just over 20 years.
Yeah, I remember when that was put up in Scott's house.
Right.
On North Mason Hill. Was it going back there? Just curious.
Yeah.
Yep, it's good, it's a good spot. Yeah, no, it's a good spot. Yeah, works pretty good. Pownell has dead spots. I don't care where you put, the dead spots in Pownell.
Oh, yeah.
There's nobody sitting in this room that won't tell you that there's not a dead spot in Pownell that's ever done a fire call.
Not flat.
Yep, there are dead spots. I have a statement from Bob. He couldn't be with us tonight. I can find it. Oh, there it is. Oh, I got some paper.
I definitely gave it to you.
Yeah. Bob's statement, my apologies for my scheduling conflict with tonight's meeting. My understanding from my communication with Mike is that the ARPA discussion is to allocate funds to our first responders. As many already know, I'm in full support of using ARPA funds for life-saving equipment for our first responders. And Bob goes on to say that perhaps we can have additional entities be discussed for ARPA funds at a later date. So he's in full support of ARPA funding for our first responders, rescue squad and fire personnel. We just have too many papers here, that's all. So we have a range of $16,000 to $20,000. I know where I stand. I don't know, my suggestion, so let me find my ARPA paper from our school commission meeting. I have the figures here in front of me from that. These are round numbers. I'm not gonna go into dollars and cents, so to speak, but round numbers. We have roughly $231,340 before we started the sewer commission meeting tonight. We allocated 26,500 to Darcy.
Yep.
We have $204,840 left. My recommendation would be to give out $60,000 tonight, $20,000 across the board.
Exactly
This
what
is
I
just a
had.
starting point. Which leaves us with $144,840 to allocate after and I would like to do it, 20,000 to each group. So that we're straight across the board.
That's exactly what I had written down. 20,000 each.
But it's certainly open for discussion.
I was thinking 25, just so they could get extra gear, extra bottle. And I
I had to start it somewhere, Jamie.
No, and my theory behind it is because I'm still active in Bennington. I respond down here from mutual aid at the time when I'm available. And I know what it's like when we got a good working structure fire and you start sucking up air bottles. And once the cascade system goes down, you know, you start pulling those spares. And same with gear. How many times has it been 20 below zero? You're freezing, be nice to throw another set of gear on. And so, you know, besides the guy having to be one set off you when you come out of the building because you freeze. I mean, that's kind of where I am, and I'm sure the other, you know, rescue squad has some other gear to get also. I mean, that's my opinion.
Brian?
I'm fine with 25 each.
I'm perfectly fine with 25. I just think that we should let people know if we're gonna give this to them, this has nothing to do with the money that is on the ballot.
No.
This is additional money. I just don't want people to think that we
Right.
gave them money. So I don't want them to say, okay, we don't have to give them any more
This is
money.
part of the ARPA money.
This is ARPA, this is totally separate, what they're voting on
Right.
Tuesday. So I just want to make sure everybody realizes that.
Mhm.
This conversation came up before Christmas meeting, fair, right? I don't remember, November, whatever it was. It was in the fall, late fall, early winter. Like I said, Jamie approached me and, I've talked with Craig over this, the chief of the fire department as well. I reached out to Jason and Becky because what's fair is fair. And I think all of you guys, I don't think that the majority, I don't want to say the majority. I don't think a significant number of people understand the amount of hours that it takes to volunteer for the fire service or the rescue squad even being paid. There's some paid, Becky, so, because Becky's not. It's a tremendous amount of commitment. It's a tremendous amount of hours. I have been involved in the fire service, so I haven't been in a while, but I was from the time I was old enough to stand on a milk crate and pump water. And that's the God's honest truth. I know what it takes. I know that funding is brutal. I know the days of doing a chicken barbecue and, a raffle or
Bingo's.
bingo, whatever, you can choose whatever you want. I mean, and I think that stuff, to a certain degree, some of those things, I think they're incredibly important to do different things, right? Different fundraisers, a cash calendar, or whatever you guys are doing. And I think it's incredibly important for just to be, it's not, it doesn't cover gas for training, okay? I know this. But I think it's also incredibly important to continue to do those things for just to be in the public eye. Just to be in the public eye, just to put yourself out there. I know you guys I was actually in Wyoming when you guys did a dinner, which kind of irritated me. Your timing was terrible, but you know.
We want to do it this year, so.
Good. Yeah, don't do it in September. I'm going away at the end of September, so or late in December, but other than that, I'll be there. But I just wanted to throw that out there, and I don't, you're not gonna make any money. You're not gonna do anything. You're just gonna be out there in the public.
Basically to get us out and.
Right.
and talk to people.
Answer questions.
So the fire department's funding themselves are.
Nope,
Right.
answer questions. You know, people have a question, they wanna see you, whatever. Put the kids on a fire truck right down at I know you guys all go to the, I guess they don't call it a fair anymore, do they? Whatever it was.
Drop it back down there this year.
There was I saw a lot of equipment down there. I think it's a great day.
What's the total hours now, just to be firefighter, basic level firefighter one?
Firefighter.
Between 3 and 4 hours, 3 and 400 hours.
And
I'm gonna
to
tell
put that in it, like 15, 16 years ago, when I did it, it was 180 hours.
Yeah, well, the last time I did it was 92 hours.
The last time I did it, we went away.
That's what I'm saying, is people need to realize
It's
that.
tough for us.
And it's not
Most of the
involved
time,
either.
the firefighter one programs are Manchester up
Are up in,
or Wilmington
Essex.
over,
yes,
so that means that people have to take 1 or 2 nights a week and drive up there for
Yep.
class.
right,
Come back.
All the volunteer.
Yep.
Then try to fund yourself. Mhm.
no, I just want.
No, I'm glad you brought that up. So, let me do a little.
I'm willing to make a motion, that we're done discussion.
I just want to put a couple of things out, Jamie, because I
Okay.
put the 144 out there,
Oh,
and I just want to
that's fine.
bring everything out there, you know? That's all. Which was gonna leave us with, if we were to go from the 60,000, 20 each to 75,000, 25 each, it brings our total from our total left, from 144,840 to 129,840. Just so you guys can think that, think that through. So it's about, well, it's 15 right.
I'm still willing to make a motion to use ARPA funds, $25 or 25,000 per department request. As requested. For their use for tools, equipment and.
So I have a motion for $25,000 for the Pownell Fire Protective Association, $25,000 for the Pownell Valley Fire Protective Association, $25,000 for the Pownell Rescue Squad to be used for their requested items, tools and equipment. And then the balance to be used as they see fit. Is that a fair
Yep.
motion?
Second.
Any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Ellen, when, just so they know, when could we process that?
Hannah, when can we process that?
Next week.
Okay, no, I know it's not gonna be this week, but it could be as soon as next week, right?
Just to be fair, what's the hours for EMT one?
I know, I'm sorry.
EMT, I believe is around 280,
Wow.
and that's just class time, that doesn't include ride time, internship, and
Right.
actually.
Well, I remember when it was 100.
No, I just
Back in the day.
want to be fair with people understanding.
Paramedic is over $1,000 class time.
Good question, Jamie. I apologize.
No, I
Because
just,
that question wasn't answered. That's definitely a fair question. Okay, so we're good with fire department, ambulance, service,
Thank you.
ARPA funds.
Thank you guys for your support.
Thank you guys for your service. Thank you for all your service and all your hours. I know we miss a lot. You guys are out cutting trees and rescue squads on standby, a whole bunch of doing different things besides ambulance calls and emergency
Mhm.
calls. There's a lot of stuff that goes on other than, and it's all basically emergency response, but it's other than a fire or an accident or a medical call or whatever, right? There's a lot of things. There's,
One of the stuff you see on Facebook.
yeah.
We do it for cats and trees.
Yeah. I'll remember that.
Yes.
Yeah, when Kayla's cat goes up a tree, I'll remember that. Thank you, everyone, for attending tonight. and Thank you for your input.
We appreciate it.
We still want to talk about ARPA funds.
Huh?
So we have, well, we have to do something with our ARPA fund, right? So we still have 129,000 left. We want to take a portion of that and put it into our capital fund. And then that portion's allocated. So we'd be within our, we'd be, and I'm glad Alan's here, we'd be within our allocation date.
Well, okay.
No one,
How can we word it? Or that might. I'm trying to. Let's help hopefully to put it in the capital fund. Under a line item that we can utilize it when we need it. What's the proper verbiage, I guess is what I'm
If
asking.
you put it in the capital fund, it's for a capital project.
Okay,
Okay, you can't put it in the capital fund and then use it for legal fees.
okay. That's what I'm,
So what are so if it's capital projects?
right. No, I understand. I know what happened.
If we're not even talking capital project, general fund or capital project, road fund or both, because both have capital fund.
But we have to make sure we
Capital
separate that.
fund can be used for.
Yeah.
Any capital project. You can't pull it back, you can't put it in there, you can't designate it to the capital fund and then say, oh, I'm just gonna take it back out and use it for something else, because it has to fall under,
We can't put it into an emergency fund.
we don't have an emergency.
I'm just under a title.
so let me ask you,
No, I'm just saying we don't have, there's no such thing as an emergency fund, we don't have an emergency fund. If you wanna put it just in, because I think ARPA said you can just put it in your general fund for general expenses of the town, but then it doesn't roll over into, so it should really go into the fund.
No, that's why I'm asking.
Alan, if we put the money into the general
Yeah.
capital fund, if we had a catastrophic road. Can't come out,
We
right?
can't transfer it over to the.
That's what I thought.
Okay.
Yes.
Kind of.
General fund is general fund, road fund is road fund.
That's what I thought.
Which. I don't know, in the general fund, you can put some in the road fund. I would suggest, maybe discussing that with Joel if you wish to do that and ask him where he would need it more before you voted to put it into a fund.
Well, I think that's, I just wanted to bring this up tonight while we were talking about alcohol and because we do have to get it taken care of, so. I think we should think about this and then bring it back.
Because you have a little time, right?
We have a little time.
Say April.
Yes.
And we have a little time to bring it back and rediscuss that, but I just wanted to throw that out there and get our wheels spinning,
Yes.
get our wheels spinning and.
And on our balance sheet for the town,
Yes.
all our funds all have their own numbers now, so if I give you a big printout, you could look at blacktop fund or the capital fund for the general or the capital fund or the. You just read the balance sheet and it tells you exactly what we have in there. So you would kind of know where you would want to put it more, but I mean, capital projects fund is a great idea because many things can happen.
Right.
that is kind of like a,
An emergency fund, but yeah,
basically,
Right.
yeah, I mean, if
for
hopefully
contingency,
insurance covers if our roof blows up, but what about if it doesn't cover everything?
right,
So then that's a capital project.
correct.
I think that's something that we need to have your input on and some discussion for the future.
Absolutely, you just let me know.
I know, kind of sprung it on you tonight all at once here, but yeah. I think that's something we need to discuss and figure out and bring back to the board. Okay,
Thank you very much.
thanks, Alan. Contracting mowing services, RFP?
So you all saw that invitation to bid. It's the
Mhm.
same as it was 3 years ago. When it was awarded. It changed slightly. We did add Oak Hill Cemetery. In this copy that I sent you, I highlighted in red the field by the racetrack. I don't know if the board wants to continue mowing that because it is not,
Does anybody use it at all?
I never see anybody using it.
Do you guys use it at all anymore?
We don't use it for baseball anymore.
None whatsoever?
And I don't think the soccer, I don't think anyone,
No.
I don't think any of our youth groups in town use
It's
that.
just used by private individuals at this point.
Walking their dog and.
And it's not town property.
And I don't think if you were to pull into that north entrance, I'm sorry, you're all blurry. I'm not even gonna say, I don't think the left-hand side is mowed, just the right-hand
Yeah,
side.
just the ball field side.
And I do believe that across the road on the east side of 7 is mowed as well with that, but that's not.
I don't know if they were mowing that.
I think he did last year. I don't know if he mowed it every time.
State, I've seen the state mower too.
He doesn't know, but-
Yeah, so I don't have a problem taking the,
I think we should take that.
Nobody uses
Take
it
it off.
We should probably take it off.
The only other idea to shorten that or to decrease the contracted amount would be to have Bill pick up the mowing here. But I don't know if that's something that you guys want to consider or just have it all
That's something I gotta
contract.
talk to Joel about too, because he may have other projects cited or,
Well, I think
uh,
Bill has the time when he's here, because he's here half the day. But again, that's up to the board.
so I think we have to go buy equipment,
right.
right? We have to buy them.
Yeah, you'd have to buy a mower and it would be,
And you're not gonna go to Home Depot or someplace. and
Then you
buy-
gotta get a mower, then you gotta worry about storage and maintenance.
Mm. What's your pleasure with the RFP? Didn't we pay for Oak Hill anyway last year?
Yep.
Right,
We did.
so let's just add it into this. We
Yep.
paid,
and we added planting flowers at Oak Hill too, because it wasn't in there.
We had we amended the contract last year for Oak Hill.
Yeah, we did.
right, so adding Oak Hill is nothing that we didn't already expend anyway.
Right.
You know,
We're just taking away the ball field down by the racetrack.
Yeah.
That we don't use.
and everything else looks exactly the same.
And are we okay with the dates that I put on there? It'll go out tomorrow. And they have until end of March to submit.
Mhm.
And the procedure was sealed bid at a duly warned meeting. So you'll be opening the bids and awarding them in open session.
Mhm.
Okay,
Sounds
just want to
good.
make sure I'm clear on the process.
Yep.
Okay, I guess that's it.
I was just looking at the insurance, so they're proposed 12 p.m. on Thursday, March 28th. Proposal will be open and awarded at a duly warned select board meeting.
That night.
Any questions should be directed to Tara in this bid. Any questions on it?
Sounds cut and dry.
Yep.
Remove the.
It is. I think we're ahead of schedule, actually, huh?
I was noticing.
It's scary. Any more questions on the RFP, mowing? Employee evaluation, job performance review policy discussion?
So I put this on there just so we could have an initial discussion about what the board would like to see for evaluations or job performance evaluations. It's in our personnel policy that we could be subject to them, but we don't have a specific policy that I'm aware of. And we also don't have like, if you say we'd like everyone to do a self-assessment, we don't have those already established, so it's something I would have to find.
Something that we dropped the ball on, as far as the board went. When we did the new personnel policy, we inner workings to lead up to those. That was prior to you being here.
Do you want to do
I do.
personnel evaluation?
Annual, the
Annually?
goal is to do annual evaluations.
Well, that's what I had. I just wrote some notes here, actually. I'd like to do yearly for our employees that we have now, at least yearly. And I'd like to do 6 months for if we had a new hire. Because I think a 3 month, I thought about a 3 month, but I think in my opinion, a 3 month probably takes a little longer than 3 months to start learning what's going on, right? You're gonna have,
Get the
right,
full
there's a
swing.
6 month, I mean, you're, 2 years hired, but a 3 month is pretty soon,
Yeah, it is pretty fast.
right? It's pretty fast. A 6 month gives you a chance to get your feet in, get in the door, get your feet wet, get what's going on, you know? Whether it be for the assessor or whether it be for, executive, any hire that we have, administrative assistant.
So with that said, do you want to do these with every employee, or is the select board going to do them with department heads? And the department heads do them with their employees?
Believe that's what their goal was the department heads would do it with their employees. If there was any issues, then the department head would contact the select board, but we would take care of the department heads. Initially, things have changed.
Well,
On the board.
The only red flag that I see there is who's gonna do the clerk assessor, because there's no department.
That's true. Well,
Who's
individual.
the executive assistant would kind of works under the executive assistant, right?
Correct.
So would the executive assistant do I personally think that there are full-time employees should be done by the board. And I think that way, and I'm kind of running it through my head, is that way, if there is, it also gives that employee a chance to, if they have any concerns about things, they're going things to them. If they have any, things that are going, any concerns about the way that their departments are working, it gives them a chance to air things out. And I think our part-time employees that work under the department heads could certainly be done by the department heads.
Just off the top of my head, transfer station, both of them are part-time.
Yeah.
But Tom is a department head, so Tom would do Ron's. I'm just trying to think through different people here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I think have the department heads do their department people and then Kara do Hannah, well.
What should the department heads do? Once we set up a format, the department heads do their evaluation, their part of the evaluation, and then us have a piece of the evaluation also.
Yeah, like we should have to review it and sign off on it, but I don't unless there's a glaring problem, I don't think we as a board should have to meet with every individual employee to do an evaluation.
So I think we could reach out. We don't have to decide this tonight, right? This is
Right.
open discussion.
Right.
We're not gonna decide it tonight.
Mhm.
I think we can reach out to our department heads. Right, and we can ask them how they feel about doing evaluations. I think the select board should be definitely in charge of doing department head evaluations. And, I think we need to figure out as a board how we do. Maybe the board does both the executive and the administrative assistant, because we certainly could set it up that way. It's a policy that is, there isn't one, really. We could design this however we want. Just thought, but I mean, that's what we're here for, right? Or do we have, I don't have a problem with the executive assistant doing the administrative assistants, because they work directly with each other and under each other and over and whatever, they're in direct correspondence. I think the executive assistant would be done by the board for sure, because that's sort of a department head. I think the clerk assessor probably needs to be done by the select board.
Well, you've got zoning, you have animal control, you have Wendy, assessor
They're
clerk.
the ones that don't have I guess they're technically their department heads.
Officer.
Yeah,
Department of One.
yeah, Department of One, Eddie, the constable is, he's Department of One.
Department of One.
He's elected though, so he's not really,
Yeah,
we're not really talking about elected, just.
He gets his evaluation every March.
yeah.
Every other.
Sorry, you're right.
Sorry, that's true. I was just using in case you were sitting there. You were pretty quiet. I think that needs to come back. I think we need to reach out to the department heads and ask them what their feelings are. And then bring that back, but it's definitely open discussion or opening the discussion to get this done and over with and get a policy in place to have it done. But I think a 6 months on a new hire and a yearly on a person who's been here for a while is plenty. I don't think you need to do it every 3-4 months. No. That's just mine.
It might be possible too to set up so that department heads are doing their evaluations with their employees before they come in to do their evaluation with you, so that they have that information or something.
We'll say.
Just a thought.
I know that. That's a good idea, Jamie. Good idea. Okay. Anything else on that policy discussion? Okay. And I'd like to let's try to bring that back maybe for the next meeting, for the next regular.
Mhm.
And that way we don't let this get by the wayside someplace. All right, public comment. Any public comment here? No hands? All right, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
Any more discussion? Any questions, comments? All those in favor?
Excuse me.
Aye.
Hey.
Thank you, everyone, for attending tonight.